Eldrazi's, slimy or dry? And now that I said that, I think that's even worse just to say that out loud. What do you think slimy?
I think they're slimy for sure.
I think dry.
They definitely are slimy.
I think dry, and like when they're crawling all along the ground, I think that they kind of feel like dusty.
I think everything from space is probably slimy.
No, you can't get wet in space.
Well, you can produce slime
to
suppose. Insulate yourself from the horrors of space.
They are the horrors of space. They don't give shit about no slime. They're dry.
No, they're definitely slimy.
I guess we'll have a poll in the comments and on Discord. Yep. Slimy or dry?
Slimy or dry. Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 440. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. We're going to talk about some of the strangest modern precons you've ever seen. Now hit our theme song! Like that one. Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Whoa. Good. What is going down?
A whole bunch is going down. We're going to talk about some of the absolute strangest modern pre-constructed decks of all time. This time from Maudie. Ho, ho, ho!
3 hoes, that is.
Yep, 3 hoes. That gives the set away.
Yep.
We got some stories to tell, some people to thank, some adventures to get into where you can see us and meet us and all that kind of good stuff. Before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com, their source for all your gaming needs. And we also have to thank our official beer sponsor for CCO Sidewalk Slam Season 2, right here on YouTube, Pile of Bones Brewing Co. They're the second coolest thing to come out of Regina.
Yeah, about that, though, here's the thing. We're at the Dam Studio.
We are.
Dufferin Abbey Media Network. Check them out on YouTube.
So good.
We're at the studio.
Yep.
Somebody drank the stunt beers.
Who does that?
Somebody drank our beer.
Although, let's be honest, like...
If you're going to drink a beer, Pile of Bones is the one to drink.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, that was good. Maybe it worked out for the best.
Yeah.
Thanks, whoever drank our beer. Just don't do it again.
That's how you turn into a skeleton.
That's right.
That's
you
it.
See there's one on the screen there? Yeah.
He's crying because he got pounded. We're going to talk about that in a second, but we got to say thanks to FusionGamingOnline.com. Special promo code still in effect. CCO Save. You're going to save money on maybe the precons.
You could buy precons or singles or board games or sleeves or secret layers or play mats.
Yes.
What else is there? There's dice.
They got everything
there's
there.
Miniatures and paint and brushes and all that stuff. You can
I don't know
save
if they have.
5% on all that stuff.
I don't know if they have brushes.
I was sure they did.
Probably they do.
I thought they had like a little kind of miniature painting section. They got everything else there. I can't see why they wouldn't have
I never go into that section in local game stores, but
you should. I always do. They're really cool.
There you go.
Like I have no talent for that stuff whatsoever, but the tools of the trade are pretty neat. Like just to see like what's this little razor for? Why does this brush only have one bristle on it? What's this?
Yeah.
Like, it's like a jeweler's eyepiece that's like this fucking long.
Yeah. The thing that you put like you flick down over your glasses to make them more magnified.
Yeah, so you can paint like the freaking facial hair on your mini that he's got a mustache, but his face is this.
Paint his ass hair on if he's like bending over and his butt cracks out.
Right?
Yeah. Well, if Fusion has those and you want to spend less money on them, if you want to get a discount, this is hashtag MTG Finance. CCO Save promo code. It's going to get you your discount.
So you could just buy everything you're going to buy and just pay less for it. It's just good business.
Yeah. Now, big thanks to all the new subs out there.
We appreciate you.
If you're a new sub and this is your first time going to Fusion, CCO Perks promo code is going to get you 10% store credit kickback when you spend over $100.
Yeah,
so
$100 Canadian too. So like
$4 USD.
Yeah, dude, you buy like a booster. Well, I guess you can't buy a booster pack if you're in America, but you could buy the equivalent of a booster pack and get some store credit kickback.
There you go. Or maybe the precons that we're going to talk about today.
Yes, you could do that. Well, can you do that?
No, you can't ship sealed product across the borders or whatever. But I got you one up. We saw the preview on the TV behind us. You'd see if you're watching on YouTube. You'd see if you were watching. That was producer Gary. That was producer Gary. Brando missed his mark.
I missed the cue. That was
I teed him up and everything.
I honestly blanked on that. Wow.
That's also how you turn into a skeleton.
Wow, that was embarrassing. Is what that was.
If you wanted to get your discount. If you want to get your discount from Fusion, you want Brando to open up your cards on Brando's box opening and then have him ship them to you. Great way to do it.
I would love to do that. We had a new one come out last Friday.
Yep.
I do have a note I would like to make on that.
An addendum?
Because
a quid pro quo?
Because I did get demolished on the box,
Oh, yeah.
but of note, I didn't use my new gimmick,
Yes.
which is still waiting in the wings. I'm still not going to spoil what it is because it's pretty cool.
And I don't even know what it is.
Nobody, even Sam was there helping me record the video.
She's consoling you.
She doesn't even know what it is.
If you ever wanted to see a grown man cry after opening Magic cards, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a, I got exactly what I wanted. This is so memorable. This is like the best gift ever, right? Like when we give wedding present Magic cards, or like when I've given painted cards to people, sometimes they get emotional if I do like a portrait of a pet or a family member or something.
Yeah.
No, he got pounded so hard after spending all the money, even with the Fusion discount.
Yes, I teared up. It was terrible. The addendum I want to make is I acknowledge, yes, I did open a couple of expensive cards.
Yeah.
But that didn't. A couple of expensive cards do not recoup the losses from that box. And I did open a card that I actually was excited about. But if you watch the video, right, it was an Ocelot Pride.
Okay.
Old border foil, which is actually really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I opened it up, and then I was like, I didn't immediately recognize what it was. So I chucked it, and because the way that I'm looking through the camera and the cards on the table are all kind of blurry, so I was like, wait a minute. Was that an Ocelot Pride? And I reached down and I pick up a different foil old border white card that was also a rare. And I was like, man, this card fucking sucks. So like I did miss like the one card I was actually excited to open in the box. So I could not acknowledge it. So for all the people that caught that, I appreciate you. And for all the people that think I'm an idiot, you're right. Thanks for watching.
And we're sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Brando.
So yeah, that's fun. But thanks to everybody who watches and enjoys and gets involved with that. I really appreciate that very much.
Sir. We've got some more thankses.
Do we?
Some thankses for going to patreon.com/CCO Podcast.
Helps the channel grow.
It does. It helps the channel be in the wonderful studio. It helps, it helps make everything we do better.
Happen.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about that in a second after we say big thank you. Shout out to Patreon pledge increaser.
Ooh, okay.
Tom. I don't remember what his nickname is. He needs a new one.
Is he Tom Bumtofill? Is that?
Oh, yes, he is. I
that
think
him?
that he is.
Okay.
He's got more fillings in his bums now.
Excellent.
And I don't know if fillings in his bums sounds like...
Fillings in his bum sounds like he's been absorbing people into his anus like the guy on Butt Boy. And if you haven't watched Butt Boy yet, do it. It's a good movie.
I was thinking of like fillings when you go to the dentist, but in your butt.
Well, yeah, that's where they come from. Like when you absorb somebody into your butt, all that's left of them is their fillings.
Yes.
And then when you do the...
So don't chew on tinfoil with your butt.
And then when you do the gimmick, like when you do the gimmick afterwards where you would then expel the waste, it's like instead of corn, it's fillings.
Gross.
Right?
Okay,
I've thought way too
Tom
hard about
Bumtofill.
this. This is ridiculous. All right.
We got another one.
Okay.
And it's sometimes it's almost too easy.
Okay.
Sometimes it's almost too easy and people don't even need nicknames.
Okay.
Big thank you, shout out, and FU to new patron, Jason Weeb.
What? What the... Really? Jason Weeb? Come on. Really? Weeb.
Weeb.
What do we do?
What do Weeb do?
Like, what do we even do here? Like, what do we do with this?
I think we just call him Weeb Doo.
Well, Weeb Dude, thanks for being here. We appreciate you, Ish.
Weeb Dude.
Weeb Dude.
There it is. Well, Jason Weeb Dude, we very much appreciate it. And if anybody else wants their nickname, if you want to support the channel, if you want to be invited to CCO experiences, we're going to talk about that in a sec. Discounts on new merch. Patreon.com/CCO Podcast. Go there. It helps the show. It keeps the show rolling for like since 2017.
Yeah, buddy.
And we very much appreciate all that support.
We sure do.
I've got some of the new merch on right now.
I was going to wear some of it, but I was wearing it in real life because it's so cool, and it was in the laundry.
So I ordered a bunch of these hats. They're the ones with the leather patch. And instead of the leather patch being brown leather, this time, teal leather. Yes, I inquired about yellow leather. They didn't have any. Yeah.
Why? Why do they have teal?
I don't
teal and no yellow. What the hell? What is going on here?
I guess they just like me better.
There's no accounting for taste anymore.
I guess not. Kids these days, hey?
Man, that's...
Yeah. So we got the new merch. We've got the glitch t-shirts, I'm calling them, the 3-color ones.
Yep.
We've got the matching stickers. Oh, there. Look at right on YouTube. Just in time, like producer Gary planned that.
You should be watching it.
We've got toques on sale. We got new stickers. So go there. I've got a couple things in the works that the merch, this round of merch, is like pre-financing, that thing I showed you. And it's very cool, but also very expensive and very cool.
Yes.
Excitement.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And of course, March helps us support CCO experiences. We've got all the dudes planning the Vegas trip.
Yeah,
because we're not frickin' going.
Yeah, we alas cannot be there thanks to dude bro Alex getting married on the same weekend like a bad friend.
Yeah, he's lucky his wife's nice.
Yeah, I've tried so hard to convince her to change the wedding and she just won't.
No, because they want to have it as close to Halloween as possible.
But have it on Halloween.
That was against the rules though. Plus, it's not a weekend. Bullshit.
Right, that's stupid. Why can't Halloween be one of those holidays like Easter where it always falls on a Saturday?
Sunday.
No, Saturday. Because then you can go out and get juice and you still have a day later to like recover from it.
I like the way you do Easter.
Easter's always on Sunday, but Halloween should always be on a Saturday. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong.
You know what? I'm a big supporter of Halloween on Friday. Because then you can still do like all your Friday stuff, like go to work dressed up or like without any costume on, or go to school with your costume on, or like go to the mall. I don't know, whatever kids freaking do.
Okay, no, you're right.
Halloween on Friday.
I like that, but Halloween Friday. It should just be Halloween Friday instead of October 31st.
There's a bunch of holidays actually that make sense to have on Friday, like St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's going to get drunk at the bar. Nobody wants to do, I mean, people do want to do that on Saturday, but how much better does it feel going to the bar directly after work?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then you go home thinking you're a leprechaun.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you feel like that all the time because you're short and you walk like a goblin.
Yes. I can use the leprechaun door at O'Shea's. That's a local bar here in town. I do use the leprechaun door often.
There you go. Okay. Well, any leprechauns in the Modern Horizons 3 Precons?
No.
Do we have leprechaun as a? I feel like that might be a culturally sensitive one that they don't want to do.
I think technically we might.
Are we getting canceled because we said leprechaun?
No way.
I don't think so.
I think that a leprechaun, like if you look at them in like the classifications of whatever, I think they're a type of fairy. So technically we could have leprechauns in Magic. Yes.
Okay.
I think they're a fairy.
If anybody's going to be a fairy, it's going to be Omo, Queen of Vesuva.
Correct.
Now, we previewed this, or we didn't preview it. We talked about it on our legendary review show a couple weeks ago.
We did.
And you asked for people to send this deck into you.
Yes.
And we've got some submissions. Maybe we'll take a look. Keep those coming in. If you're a Patreon supporter, we've got deck list channels in our Discord.
Make sure you tag me.
Yes. Deck list channels in the Discord. There's a 7AF deck list. There's a degenerate deck list. And then there's like a preferred deck list channel that we use for the show. And that's the number one way that we find our decks. And get the Umo suggestions in there, because I think this deck, this Precon, actually rips, even though we kind of reviewed Omo, Queen of Vesuva, as kind of like a humdrum bleh.
Yeah, and I mean that sometimes happens, right?
Give me your first take. Give me your take on this Precon, because our friend FU Aiden played this Precon and kicked your ass, or what?
No, he did not. He did not kick my ass. I won that game.
Oh, probably
Thank you. So I've played a couple of games against this deck.
Okay.
And I have a couple of suggested decks that have been sent in to us. So having looked at all of that and the Precon, I can sort of conclude that the Precon itself is kind of unfocused, like we said. It's got a really good base, and it can make a ton of mana and do all the Simic stuff. Plus, like, just it can do lots of neat shit, but it's not set up the way that it comes out of the box to really take advantage of it.
Of Omo.
Of Omo and her ability. Like,
okay, so let's give her a quick read. When Omo, Queen of Vesuva, enters the battlefield or attacks, put an everything counter on each of up to one target land and up to one target creature. Each land and creature with an everything counter on it is everything.
Yeah.
Right?
So all of the lands are their mines, their towers, their power plants, they're everything that they could be.
And all of the creatures become changelings.
Yes.
So they get bonuses for being whatever creature type cards you're playing that care about that.
Very much correct, yes. So what I've seen so far is there's what F.U. Aiden did was he went in and he dumped a bunch of like X spells in because this deck can make so much mana.
Okay.
So he put in things like Genesis Wave and Hydras and all this stuff to take advantage of just the
these are the upgrade. He made
amazing amounts of mana.
He upgraded this deck?
Yeah, like he threw in some stuff. It wasn't like upgraded all the way, but he was just trying some neat stuff.
Okay.
And then we had one of our submissions that was sent in is very much a Gates deck. And again, this is a really good upgrade as they just went hard on Gates. There's a Maze's End. There's all the gates from Baldur's Gate, which has like lots of really solid stuff, which gives you like a really powerful 5-color mana base.
And then you can play like Trans Guild Gate or whatever, and the Simic Gate that might actually even come in the deck. I don't know if it does or not, but it does. I just saw it on the thing there. Yep. You can play the gates that you already want to play for mana fixing, and then you can play the ones that also give you the bonuses that you're after, I guess. Right?
And then with Omo, you can turn all of your other lands into gates, which then now you have 10 gates of different names, and you win.
So you could have an alternate win con Maze's End upgrade to this on the cheap. Like
it costs a buck.
Yeah.
All you need, the only card you actually need to do that is Maze's End. You only need Maze's End, which is really cool.
Well, that's easy.
And then we saw another guy sent in one that was it was an amalgamation of this and then a bunch of stuff from the Precon from Thunder Junction that took advantage of deserts. So it had somebody else that made a desert deck out of it, right? Which it was a little bit, I don't want to say it was less good, because it's not less good, because the guy obviously thought it was going to be fun.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit less cohesive, but it did really take advantage of lands coming in, lands going out. It's another lands deck, but in a different way, which is really cool.
Yeah, and again, deserts of old, like Desert, and then we got the deserts from Amonkhet, and we got other things that might care about desert in card or creature form. If you control a desert this, or for every desert something, right?
Yeah.
So you could do desert. And then the only limiting factor in that would just be the Simic color identity instead of like 5-color deserts, because that's so interesting, right? or the new, what is he, the Naya guy, or is he oh, the dog just hacked.
Dang.
or a Jund guy or something that cares about deserts. He's one of the
he's a Naya guy with a Precon guy. Makes cactus
from Thunder
dudes.
Junction. Yeah. I was playing against that deck the other day with my everything deck with my
Orvar the Allform.
Orvar the Allform, which is, I think, another direction you could go with Omo, in that you just play all the Merfolk Lords, all the Elf Lords, all the
Archer Lords.
Yeah. What other lords are there in those two colors?
That are good?
Well, no. This is Commander Cookout. We don't play cards that are good.
I think the best one is, I think there's an Archer one. It makes your Archers bigger and gives them like reach and death touch or something.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
Which is good, yeah. You could play all of the things that make your lands into creatures. I guess they do a little bit of that in the Omo deck already, right?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that I thought was kind of not so great, because the two face commanders of that deck don't really work well together, because one of them cares about land creatures, and Omo's everything counters don't turn your dudes into lands. Does that make sense? So the other guy's power, like his ability, doesn't really work, and there's not a huge density of man lands in here.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay, what's his name, the Great Green Warden that turns all your dudes into forests. Because that guy would be so cool in here, because now your creatures with everything counters are lands too. So they're also deserts, and they're also gates, and they're also towers and mines and
my Dryad Arbor Forest guy is a desert.
Yes.
I can't imagine what his bedroom life would be like.
But I just think
dry and raspy.
But just the fact that we can say that is really cool.
Okay, that makes me happy about this deck. Now, interesting about this deck now, the week of release, this is, if you were to buy all 100 of these cards individually, the Omo deck is the most expensive deck to buy, not the Eldrazi one.
And the reason for that, I would argue that this one comes with a whole bunch of stuff that works with lands. And not only do they work with lands, They either are lands, and those lands are colorless, for lack of a better word. They have no color identity, like your City of Brass and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the really expensive stuff are the new lands that come in. There's the land that's everything all the time.
Yep, that's the planar nexus. That's the everything land.
And then there's the really cool, the Talon Gates.
Talon Gates
so
of
good.
Madara. Remember I made a plane of this, and then WotC came out with a plane called the Talon Gates?
Yeah.
We did the same frickin' thing, except mine was better.
Read this one.
Okay.
'Cause this is a good card.
And it's too small on the screen for you, I assume.
Correct.
Talon Gates of Madara. This is a Precon exclusive, right? You can't get this in booster packs?
Correct.
Unless you open collector packs and it's in the slot.
Yeah, collector boosters can be, there's one slot that could be this.
And it could be foil.
No.
No. Okay, yeah, okay. When it enters the battlefield, up to one target creature phases out.
So it's a removal spell.
Up to one target.
It can remove a blocker if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it can remove my guy if I'm going to sweep, right?
Yep.
Also, because that's not good enough on a land, it taps for colorless. Or you can go 1 tap, add mana of any color. Or you can go 4, put it back into your frickin' hand.
No, you put it from your hand into play.
Oh.
So if something's attacking you to kill you, you can remove it with this
Oh,
land.
yeah, because you activate that ability when it's in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what I said better. It enables landfall strategies.
It does, but I like what I said because it's a removal spell.
Yeah,
or a protection spell for your guy.
Because it gives your land flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Ooh. I like that lots. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
But, so I think that this deck is actually really good out of the box. If you're looking at value monetarily, it's there in spades.
Kind of it is, though. Like, most of the cards are like between 25 cents and $4, except for Apex Idiot, Quadruple Cascade, Planar Nexus at 18 or 17, and a couple other lands that are a few bucks.
But you're going to get your value out of it monetarily, and more importantly than that, this is one of those decks that if you want to play it, it's fun. If you want to upgrade it, there's a myriad of different directions you can take it. And if you want to break it down to just like disperse all the cards into your other decks, they're going to make your other decks perform better or be cooler. So I think that I really like that one. That's a really good one. I've kind of 180'd on it. I still don't know what the hell it was supposed to do the way that it is now, but I do really like it.
You know what? I like when they release decks that give you the strong foundation and starting point to do anything.
Yep.
I like that because when I sit down against an Omo deck, somebody's going to say, oh, this is Omo land combo, or this is Omo deserts, Omo gates, Omo merfolk.
Gives you
everything.deck, right? Like my Orvar the All Form.
It kind of gives you an Animar vibe where there's so many different directions it can go and so many different things it can do. Also,
and you're going to see dirty, stinking combos. I just haven't done the research on Omo to know what they are. When you've got a creature that shouldn't be this type, but triggers when something of this other type that it also does something, you're going to see like infinite loops that are probably hard to disrupt.
Yeah. And one of the things that you can also put in there to take advantage of how strong this deck is the new Toucan Sam card. Of course, we're all aware of her Nadu.
Yep.
That's the target your guy do Simic shit guy.
Yes.
He would go in there and make the deck just go way harder than it already does.
Yeah.
And we all knew that because we all knew that.
Okay, so let's move from the most expensive deck to the cheapest deck. This deck, if you were to buy every single card in it right now, $69.
Nice.
Yes, this is Creative Energy. This the main dude is Satya?
Yeah.
Sure. Satya Etherflux Genius. And what do we think about this guy? I think we kind of went over him quickly because we said
he's the energy guy.
This is the energy guy. And I'm not sure in terms of like value of cards in deck and different build paths and blah, 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 blah. If this is the deck that is going to be interesting for lots of people to hear about on the show today.
No.
If you want to play the energy deck, now you have the energy deck.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is the exact polar opposite of Omo. Because this deck is essentially the second half of the energy deck that they built in Fallout, with the energy deck there. That is, of course, something that people have been clamoring for since Aether Revolt, where all the energy cards got printed. So if you have those from when you wanted to build the energy deck the first time and it didn't work, and then you bought the Fallout deck to augment the energy deck that now is functional. Now you have bought this deck and combined all three of those together, and you have the energy deck that you wanted to play 10 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Question.
Sure.
That's French for question. Mm-hmm. Do you know in which of those things that you just outlined, which one has the Aetherworks Marvel in it? Or if any of them do? Because this one doesn't.
Aetherworks
Nope,
Marvel.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I just missed it because it's not in alphabetical order.
Yes.
I was like, why on earth would they not put the best one
Yeah.
in the Precon when it's not even like a $40 card? But
And
they did. They did. Okay. Well, have you seen or played against this deck or the amalgamation of the energy decks that you just talked about?
This is the only one I have not seen in the wild yet.
Okay.
And I think it's for the reasons that I outlined, and there's nobody in our local play group that plays the energy deck.
Oh, okay.
There's one dude that bought the Fallout energy deck that he plays, but it's not because it's the energy deck, it's because it's the Fallout deck that he wanted. So they showed up for different reasons, and I'm not sure if he picked this up to augment that deck or not. So time will tell. This is the one that I'm kind of the least excited about because I don't give a shit about energy. And there's some cool cards in here to be sure.
And unlike Omo, it isn't kind of open-ended where you can, when you can do anything, the hardest part is doing anything, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of the opposite. You get this deck and this is what you're doing.
Yep.
This is the energy deck.
Yep.
And I don't want to sound like we're crapping on it because I'm happy we have it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember in 2017 when the Arabo cat deck came out?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, man, we can finally do cats.
Yeah.
Right? Or when they changed like hound to dog and then they gave us like Rin and Seri and we can finally do this thing or finally do that thing. Yeah. We can finally not have to scab together draft commons off the floor of the LGS to play the energy deck because they gave us the energy deck 2 sets in a row and gave us new cards in those decks both times that have the energy symbol on them.
That are good.
Yeah.
That's key, is those cards are good.
Yeah.
And they're playable. So if you're after the energy deck, this is very good. I don't know if there's anything even really particularly noteworthy that's new in there. Like most of
you know what? Just looking at the list, I can't read fast enough to know, oh, this one's new or whatever. Do you have any off the top of your head that you know are in the energy deck if I just scroll through? Who's the other commander in this deck?
The other commander is this lady here.
Oh, Kaith, famed machinist. Oh, the one that looks like my grandma.
Yeah, she's the one that either populates or proliferates.
With fabricate.
Yes.
Man, she fabricates, she populates, she proliferate?
Yeah, she attack, she protect, she get good night snack. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, what other cards are in there? If I scroll this fast, are you going to be able to tell?
We already went past them all.
All right, well, I guess we're done.
Yeah, like it kind of is what it is. And if you're an energy fan, then, I mean, by all means, pick this up. But if you're not really interested in the energy thing, then you might want to move on. There's cheaper ways to get into Chroma's Will and a Goldspan Dragon, like going to FusionGamingOnline.com using special promo code CCO Save and buying them.
Pretty good hit there, Uncle Brando.
Thanks.
Let's move to the one that I actually like the most.
This is your favorite one,
This is my favorite one because it gives me some of the feels.
The feels.
I like the feels in this one.
Okay.
I like the vibe. I like the nostalgia. Maybe that's the feels, right?
Yeah.
Memory with pain. I think that's how when you look at the etymology of nostalgia, it's like nostos and whatever from Greek and Latin.
Yeah.
Memory and pain.
Yep.
This is Graveyard Overdrive. And this is about $85 if you're going to buy the whole thing.
Which is, again, worth it monetarily.
Yep. We talked a lot about Lurgoyfs and Disa the Restless in the pre-show yesterday. And in the pre-show is where we're doing all the booster pack game giveaways now. So if you're not watching and commenting on the frickin' pre-show, are you even really a CCO National Light anymore? I don't even know. Ooh, them's fighting words.
Them's fighting words.
Those,
for sure.
I'm restless. I'm reading this Disa the Restless. Let's give her a read. You're still a nationalite. I'm just playing for the most part. But fuck around and find out. A 5/6 for Jundin 2. So she feels Tarmogoyfi already, right? That's what I said yesterday. When a Lurgoyf permanent card is put into the graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield. So when it's milled or you discard it.
Yep.
Can we do it any other way?
I mean, yeah, but also no.
We could play that one green card that puts it from exile into graveyard.
Yeah. So if you play your Lurgoyf and somebody paths it, you can use the Rift Sweeper to put it into your bin.
Yes. Welcome to
Wow.
the nation. That's
Right?
powerful magic
That's
right
just
there.
too good, man.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
Too good.
Sure. Graveyard, put it. Oh, you put it onto the battlefield when it gets milled. Okay, so if you mill it, you get it. Is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a Tarmogoyf token.
Cool.
So we attack one guy with 3 creatures. We get 1 guy.
Yeah, but we attack 3 guys with 1 creature. We get 3 guys,
That's pretty good.
which is not too bad. And the guy is a Tarmogoyf, as we all know.
Yeah, gets he's a star +1.
Mm-hmm.
Gets bigger for each card type among cards in all graveyards.
And it does say, I don't think they list the card types anymore. It's just card types. You get artifact, enchantment, creature, instant, sorcery, battle,
Siege.
siege.
Instead of battle.
Okay, whatever,
sure.
Whatever the hell. then
Usually
is.
he's going to be like a 5/6 or a 4/5.
And then there-
That's fine.
What are they calling the tribal things now?
Kindred.
Kindred. So kindred spells also count
Yep.
for that. And planeswalker.
Yep.
I think that's it. Is that it?
I don't know. There's 9 or 10 types.
Yeah, so your creature can be very big for some number of mana. Tarmogoyfs get that way. Other ones count creatures or lands or whatever.
Yeah, other Lurgoyfs care about number of things in graveyard. Now, the only thing I would say about this is have a way to keep track, like use dice. And the hardest part that I've ever found about playing with or against Tarmogoyf, and most of my experiences in Legacy, like 15 years ago, is how many cards in your graveyard? What's in your graveyard again?
Yeah.
Huh? How many card types in your graveyard? How many card types in your graveyard? Okay, I got to count my graveyard. Like, just make people like fan their graveyard out or put some dice on there. And when something gets milled, just tick your dice up so you know you accounted for that new card type.
Yeah.
Because, and you know how full graveyards get in Commander.
Oh, yeah.
They go like 10, 15, 20. If you're playing this Jund Mill deck, you're going to have like 25 cards in your graveyard. Just know what's in there and save yourself and your friends the time, the heartache, the annoyance, the trouble. And keep track.
Yes.
So, what do you think about this deck? Have you done anything with this deck?
I have looked through it and I have played against it.
Okay.
And I think that as it's built, it's with the face commander.
Yeah.
I think with the face commander,
Disa.
it like I said yesterday, I don't think that it quite does what it says on the box because there's only a few Lurgoyfs in the deck. Not near enough to make it worth running as presented.
There's 3 new ones: Barragoyf, Pyrogoyf, and the green one, and the green enchantment.
Yeah.
And then Disa makes ones. That's 5.
Yeah, but that doesn't get her. You don't get them off her ability of milling things into your bin.
No, you get them from attacking.
Yeah.
But she gives you another one.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yes.
And then there's a Mortivore in the deck.
Yeah.
There is not a Terravore. There is not a Lurgoyf from Ice Age.
There is a Lurgoyf from Ice Age.
There is a Lurgoyf for Ice Age. Okay, so then on the pre-show we talked about Chameleon, Colossus, and Torian Mauler, and that could be 10. Is that enough for a Lurgoyf deck?
No.
It ain't, hey?
No, it's not.
So you still got to play like the changeling, 1/1 can't block for 1 all creature types, and you still got to play, this guy from frickin' Lorwyn, or this guy that can become all creature types until end of turn.
Yes.
You still got to do that?
Yes. And you don't want to do that because
God
you got to play
dang.
you got to play Magmavore and hope that somebody's playing a bunch of instants and sorceries because then he'll be big.
How much does he cost?
I think Red 2.
Red 2 seems right because that's on par with.
Yeah, green 2, black 2. It's just what they cost.
No, I think Terravore's green 1, ain't he?
Green 1. That is Terravore. Yes.
Yeah, that's why Terravore's the best one.
But Lurgoyf is green 2.
Yeah, you could play Magmavore. That's fine. I think he'd probably be 4/4, 5/5, like when you cast him. Don't you think? If you cast him turn 4 or 5,
Maybe.
Who
knows?
Well, the point is,
In my deck, he'd be a 0/0 because I don't play a lot of instants or sorceries.
Magmavore could be Lurgoyf number 11.
Yeah,
if we're playing Torian Mauler, maybe 12 if we play like the 1/1 for 1 that can't block, like the black one.
Yeah,
that black changeling.
Or what we could do is we could take Disa, put her in the 99, and play the Undertaker. The Undertaker.
Oh, that's the other guy,
That's
right?
the other guy. I actually like him a little better. Corum the Undertaker. He's a 0/5 for 4, I believe.
Yeah, Jundin 1.
And he gets bigger His power goes up based on the biggest power of creatures in all graveyards.
Yep.
And whenever
it kind of feels Lurgoy-y.
so pretty cool. And whenever he attacks, everybody mills a card. And then each turn, you can play a creature and a land from among cards that were put into graveyards this turn. So you can play your opponent's shit with it.
Which feels very red and black.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so he's doing a lot of the things that we would expect him to do.
Yeah.
He feels Lurgoy-y if we want to maintain that theme or strategy. Mm-hmm. I think that's fine. Is this, you said you played against this deck?
Yes.
Is it good?
Again, I played against it with Disa and the Undertaker switched.
Yep.
And yeah, it performed very well. It was straight out of the box. It was a little bit... There were a few turns in the game that I played with it where it just didn't have anything to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to put a card into my hand and mill a bunch. Now my guy gets one tick bigger and my guy's still smaller than yours, so I'm not going to do anything.
Do you remember when we were talking during the Legend review, the new Rakdos commander that steals guys? Imskir Iron Eater, the affinity for artifacts. Oh no, he flings artifacts like
flings
Bosch.
guys, yeah.
And this could be the leader along with Laughing Jasper Flint from last month, where we make this Rakdos steal your stuff deck.
Right.
Okay. Imagine Laughing Jasper Flint and Imskir Smeary Iron Beater.
Right.
Alongside the Undertaker. What's his name? Koram the Undertaker.
Yeah.
You could have that Rakdos steal all your stuff deck, and now you have access to red.
I mean green.
Green. Now you have access to green, making it like probably better.
I mean, green is pretty good.
Green's pretty good. You get more ramp, and you don't have to rely on artifacts as much. So the Smear Iron Beater, you don't need the stuff that he needed in his deck, but you could still play the steal your stuff deck, but now you have green.
You could do that, yes. That is
And
certainly a thing you could
I
do.
like that as a way to upgrade this deck or completely cannibalize and build a new deck.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. There's lots of pieces in here that you're going to rip out and put in other decks, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
And when you do build it, like you could take the Lurgoy theme right out of it, use the Undertaker, and you could just have like a really good kind of classic Jund deck from back in the day when it was in standard and a little bit of an extended and stuff.
Yep.
And it really does feel like that kind of that just attrition-ish toolboxy deck that has kind of answers for everything and kind of do lots of really cool shit.
Yeah.
And you can really get that feeling back if you were a big Jund fan back in the day. And you can definitely get that out of this deck. It just doesn't have it out of the box. And you can do that for not very many dollars.
Yes. You know what I like so far? We're gonna get to the Eldrazi's right now, but before we do, this Koram guy feels like the guy of all of the legends that we've looked at so far that people are going to just buy this one guy, Koram, the single, and build the Jund Mill Myself deck. Of all of the ones that we looked at, like Satya is going to be the energy guy.
Yeah.
Kaith, the grandma, I don't know if anybody's going to really build that because it's not in the artifact colors really.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like people that I've ever played Magic with can identify with that character very much. And Disa is going to be the one that you play to lead this deck if you do the Lurgoyf route. And Olmo's got a deck that's kind of built around her, and it does the lands thing, the everything thing. You're going to upgrade this Precon, right? But Koram is going to be the guy that people buy.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think maybe the Jory dude from the other one from Olmo.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to see that thing popping out more often than we think. I think we are.
+1/+1 on creatures you control, right? And it makes dudes into lands into dudes.
It makes your land dudes bigger, and it makes land dudes when it comes into play.
Yes.
So he's pretty cool.
Land dude deck.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
like the sound of that.
That'll be something that's cool, but it's just not present in the thing. So you change him for Toucan Sam. That's the first cut you make. And if you don't do a Toucan Sam alter that card, you're
Thursdays on our Facebook page.
Yeah, you're fired.
I gotta get one though. Those cards are kind of expensive, aren't they?
I don't know.
I guess I could get a discount at FusionGamingOnline.com.
There you go.
Okay, last deck.
Oh, man.
Last deck, we've got X-Lax, Ass Crack,
Yeah.
Fused Atrocity.
That sounds like my ass crack.
Yeah, this is nipple shoulder guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Washed out art, man. I'm telling you. Still don't like it.
Does it look washed out in real life
Yep.
when you have it? Even with your fancy foil version?
Yep.
Do you got it open?
I don't have it with me.
What's in these boxes?
Oh, the face commanders I took out because I'm doing the collection of portrait arts.
Oh, yeah.
And so they came out of the boxes and they went into the pages in my binder.
Oh.
And I've also cannibalized the decks for parts.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
I have the rest
We're going
of
to talk
them
about that
still
in a sec.
Yes.
Okay. Have you played with or against the Eldrazi deck? This is the one everybody's interested in.
I have done both, and I think that it's fine. I'm not the biggest Eldrazi guy, to be fair. I'm more of a sliver human.
Yes.
And
the Eldrazi are like the epitome of battle cruiser magic, right?
Yep.
Like make as much mana as fast as you can and drop the hugest haymakers.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a good time.
oh yeah,
That's how Commander was invented.
yes,
Right?
It was because you want to throw haymakers.
Yeah, so I can see how people identify with this. You don't need to look a certain way. You just need to like swinging with huge dinks
Yeah, you need to slap lips into dirt and stomp dinks on top of them.
and have nipples on your shoulders.
Yes,
Maybe they're like a pin joint where it's a pin to hinge around. Maybe that's what they are.
maybe. Would they have that though? They're all kind of goo. I always pictured Eldrazi as just being real slimy. You know what I mean? Like,
You know
they don't
what?
have bones or something.
I don't know.
I'll bet you they don't have bones.
Okay, let us know in the comments.
Do Eldrazi
Oh
have
no,
bones?
these got bones for sure.
No,
Their
no
tentacles
bones.
don't.
No bones.
Eldrazi's slimy or dry? And now that I said that, I think that's even worse just to say that out loud. What do you think slimy?
I think they're slimy for sure.
I think dry.
They definitely are slimy. They have
I
to be
think
slimy.
dry, and like when they're crawling all along the ground, I think that they kind of feel like dusty.
I think everything from space is probably slimy.
No, there's no, you can't get wet in space.
Well, you can produce slime
I
to
suppose.
insulate yourself from the horrors of space.
They are the horrors of space. They don't give a shit about no slime. They're dry.
No, they're definitely slimy.
I guess we'll have a poll in the comments and on Discord.
Yeah.
Slimy or dry?
Slimy or dry. But
How do you think the deck goes?
I think the deck is fine as is. We talked about this during the Legendary Creature review, where I'm a believer that the secondary commander in the deck is probably a little bit better for the deck that's presented here, because you want to make more scions and more spawns and then just make them big and attack, as opposed to paying extra mana on top of the 10 mana you've already spent to get another thing. You know what I mean?
Yep. So the main commander is Ulalek Fused Atrocity. That's the one with winding / colored mana ×5.
Yeah.
And it's got Devoid 2/5. You can pay double for Eldrazi doubles, right?
You can pay 2 wingdings when you cast an Eldrazi spell to copy the spell
Yeah.
/ ability.
So it's like doubling Drazi,
Yes.
but you got to pay mana for it.
Correct.
But you're going to make mana because that's what the deck does.
Yeah, that's what the deck is all
Okay.
about.
And then Ass Crack the Swelling Scourge, Brando after Taco Bell.
Correct.
Is the 2/2 with 5 colors in his mana cost. You go Wooburg, creatures you control get big, and
Your spawns and scions get Annihilator 1.
yeah.
And so it's I just think that one's a little bit better, again, out of the box. And this one has a fairly obvious build path depending on which way you want to go. If you want to do the big Drawsies, you want to play your classic Eldrazi Titans, right? All the Ulamogs, all the Kozileks.
And I do.
That you take your excitement and you cash it in online for cards.
Yes.
And then you dump them into this deck along with some big mana production, and off you go to the races.
Yep.
Then, if you want to play the Spawn and Scion guy, you go out and you spend a little bit less of your excitement, and you get some of the old colored Eldrazi things that you couldn't play in Eldrazi decks previously.
Like this is-
like the Rapacious one where
Yep.
it hits somebody and you make a bunch of Scions, or
Or
the enchantments that just pump one out every upkeep.
yeah. Or
right?
the Pawn of Ulamog. Creature dies, you get a Scion, right?
Yes.
Like these are the devoid draft chaff Scion creating ones from Zendikar Rising.
Yeah.
That's these ones.
Yeah, like
that
you
you're
can
talking about.
You take the ingesters and processors, fuck all of them, and you play the ones that make
Yes.
scions and stuff.
Yes, and in this case, you're going quantity over quality.
Yes.
If you go with Ulalek, you want to make big mana and play the Kozileks, the Emrakuls, the Ulamogs.
That's your haymaker deck that we were talking about off the top.
Those cards are expensive.
Yeah.
Like every version of Ulamog, expensive.
Yes.
Every version of Kozilek, expensive. Kind of.
Less than Ulamog, but like if you look at like the new Ulamog right now is going for Canadian
Lots.
dollars. You're looking between $90 and $110 for that
Yeah.
card. The old ones are usually hovering somewhere between 25 and 40.
Yes.
Kozilek is a little bit less.
I'll tell you something though. Check this out. Every single deck or everything. Jesus Christ.
Come
Ryan.
on, man.
Every single card in this deck list that we're looking at online, save for Ulalek at $450 and Eldrazi Conscription at $750. Every single other card in the deck, except Eldrazi Temple, is below $4.
Yeah.
And most of them are below $1. Like this deck is cheap, and I don't think from a monetary excitement value, if some LGS or online retailer is gouging you on this one, don't pay the gouge on this one because this is not an expensive deck.
No.
And if you want to go the ass-lack way and get those draft chaff common frickin' Scion producers, you're going to build this deck for like $50.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a good Eldrazi deck because Aslak is good. That's a good card.
Yeah. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to give Wizards some credit. For an Eldrazi deck, the mana base here is actually good.
Oh, yeah, because they're all freaking colors.
Because it's it's a 5-color mana base.
I know.
But they've included a ton of the lands that you're going to want to have. Like there's a full suite of Pain lands.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff in here that's just like, it's not perfect, but it's good.
Well, and you know what the other thing that they did too is right in this same set, Mari Ho Ho Ho, they gave us fetch lands at rare in multiple slots and collector boosters so we can get them in full art or special art or regular art or whatever this or jerk off that. And you could, like, how many did you get in your BBO? You got 4 fetch lands?
4.
And I haven't checked prices, but I bet you fetch land prices have gone down since they were reprinted in this set, right?
If you're ever looking to update your mana base, here's some MTG finance for you. Head on over to fusiongamingonline.com and you can get fetch lands now. And if you just want the most basic version of them, so you have a fetch land in your deck, now's the time to do it.
And CCO Save going to save you even more money. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. So I mentioned it. Is it worth it? And I don't mean I want to buy 100 cards and spend less than $100 on them, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care what the decks go in terms of reprint value for. I care about what they cost for me to get this box and play a game of Magic with it. And is that going to give me excitement, replayability, power, deck building potential, cannibalization potential if I want to like strip the deck down and build other decks out of it?
Right.
If I have to pay $100 for this, do you think that that's worth it?
In 3 out of the 4 cases, yes. I think
which is not,
I think that to me personally, the energy deck is the outlier, because if you're buying it to build the energy deck, it's just going to be cheaper to buy the singles to add to your deck that you already probably have. You probably already have an energy deck that you're just trying to buy cards for, and in that case, it's just more economic. It's just a better use of your money and more efficient use of your time. Just get the singles.
Because there might be like 10 new energy cards that you actually want to put in your deck. Maybe not even 10, right?
And there's not a ton of cards in there that I saw that are really going to like to cannibalize and put into different decks. I feel like you're not going to have a lot of that. And out of the box, that one is only half there. And you know it's only half there because you're perfectly aware, because you're an energy player, that the energy deck is out there and there's a bunch of stuff that you're missing.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But the other ones, I think that Eldrazi plays great out of the box and has lots of really powerful stuff in it with lots of room to build and grow in different directions like we talked about.
Yep.
And if you want to cannibalize it, there are actually some cards in there that are pretty cool in other decks too. Because you can, this is true. You can play Eldrazi's in any deck because they're colorless.
Ooh.
Right? A lot of them.
I never thought of that.
Right? So blow your mind on CCO.
I can put Eldrazi in decks that aren't Eldrazi decks.
Right? Holy shit.
You know what? I play OG Kozilek in my Animar CEDH deck because it's a 10/10 Annihilator 4 that I drop for free and draw 4 frickin' cards that I can combo with Cloudstone Curio because it's very specifically not an artifact.
Yes.
That's a good ass card right there.
Good card, right?
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things you can do. Then the Graveyard Overdrive one, I think, has a lot of great stuff for cannibalizing, and if you want to play that classic Jund shell that maybe you're missing from previous constructed days.
Yeah.
Plus, and that's the one that I cannibalized the most stuff out of to go into my other decks. There's some cool...
could you imagine making like a old school aggro loam dredge deck from Legacy of years gone by with that Undertaker guy?
That'd be cool, man.
And come on, Undertaker altars, come on, hit me up. Undertaker.
Do you want purple gloves or gray gloves? Or biker taker? Which one do you do?
Probably the oldest of school one with the gimmicky like 90s tie.
Oh, with the big gray tie?
Yeah.
Looking at Gary,
yeah, it
he
just
likes
looks
that
like
one
a freaking cartoon character,
Yeah,
hey?
man, I like
that's
him
the one
lots.
that you could turn into a caricature the easiest.
Yes,
I think.
And it would be cool. Well, that's what I say, because there's that one, but then there was also
American
Undertaker
Badass.
with purple gloves.
Oh,
Remember, there was like gray gloves, purple gloves,
Yeah.
and the Undertaker versus Chains. Was it Chains?
Undertaker versus Chains.
But of course, it was Undertaker versus Undertaker, but it is Chains. Look it up. It was a dark time.
And don't be confused with the Undertaker versus Kane.
Yes, and
Kane,
not the
Chain,
same.
You know, those are different things. Not the same.
Not the same. Not the same.
Oh,
and
man.
then I think going back to these decks, I'm going to say it again. I think that Omo is the most fun to play against that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be the most fun to pilot, and I think it would have the most potential to grow into something different, like a mainstay deck that you're just going to play all the time.
Yep.
Or if you're going to just break it down and put pieces into other decks. There's so much there. There's so much in that deck that can go into like every other deck. Like, I'll bet you if I tried really hard, I could open this box of Omo right here, take one and have one card for every single deck I own.
Oh, wow.
I'll bet I could do that if I tried hard.
So that might be your recommendation, because where I was going with this is I know which one my favorite is. It's the Disa one with the Lurgoyfs, and I want to make Lurgoyf.deck.
Me too.
Is that your favorite one to play?
It's my favorite one. Not my favorite one to play. It's my favorite one because it had the most stuff in it.
Okay, out of the product release, that was your favorite one.
I bought that thing for parts.
Okay.
And I never looked back.
And which one is your recommendation for CCO Nation to go out and buy?
Omo. Absolutely Omo, because there's so many things you can do with it, and just there's so much just crazy shit that could come of this. Like whenever a desert comes into play, you do 2 damage to somebody, and you tap your Krenko to make. I guess you can't use Krenko, but then you tap something to make a bunch of tokens, and because you have that dude that makes all your guys into forests, it's like, well, I had a bunch of deserts enter play. Die. Right? So that's pretty cool. And I just think there's so many.
I got to dig into the Omo deck. I got to dig into the Omo deck for my Orvar deck to see if there's anything that everything matters for.
You might.
I might. Okay, so if we want to get them, we can go to fusiongamingonline.com.
You sure can.
CCO save promo code.
Yep.
Or CCO perks promo code if it's your first ever order with Fusion. If you want to get the sealed booster packs, but you live outside of Canada, send them to Brando. He'll open them on Brando's box opening. It's right on the TV behind us right now.
Yep.
And watch it or else. And then you can get them, and you get a discount, and Brando gets some content that we can make, and everything is fantastic.
And then I could finally know what it feels like to open good cards.
Oh yeah, good luck.
Maybe.
On the whole, okay, so now we've looked at, we've done the legendary review, we've looked at all the cards, we've talked about the precons. Is this the best modern set ever? Because I don't think that these decks are very good in modern.
I feel like...
I think that they would lose.
Yeah, I'll bet you if we went to a modern tournament with these decks, 1, we'd be disqualified for playing cards that aren't legal in modern, and 2, we would lose because they're not very good in modern.
I didn't even think about getting DQ'd for cards that aren't legal in modern. Frick, what a fantastic troll WotC could have been. The troll job that WotC could have done if they printed these decks with only cards that were legal in modern. So you could go to a modern tournament and play with these commander decks and just get pounded into the dirt.
Well, they could have done that. All they had to do was make the new cards legal in Modern, but they didn't.
Can you imagine Soul Ring in Modern now?
Oh, yeah.
Whoopsies.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Not
good
so
point.
good. Yeah, they make them legal in Modern, but immediately ban it.
Yes. They're legal, but no.
Yeah.
Everything we're making everything in these boxes legal except Sol Ring.
And it's banned. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay. Final thought of the day on the product. What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite Modern ho-ho? Like, give us the wrap it up.
The wrap it up on the Modern Horizons thing.
And send your deck lists in.
Yes, give us deck lists for this stuff because we've only got a couple of Omos and we got one Necro Bloom, which I'm looking forward to talking about. We're probably going to delve into that one.
Yeah.
That's my personal pick for most powerful.
Ooh.
Even though everybody's saying Toucan Sam is more powerful, I think that.
Or Ulamog.
No. Ulamog, bad commander.
Ulamog, bad commander. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not very good. Not very
Final
good
thought of the day.
Not very good commander. So I think overall this set might not be the best for Modern players, but it is one of the better ones for us commander guys, which is who it was obviously aimed at. Let's not pretend that it's anything but that. This is 100% a product that was aimed at us, and it's good. So cool. WotC, thank you much. Thanks for not making these into boxes that cost $100 for a pack, and there's only $4 or 4 packs in a box. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we like big box better.
Yes, I like full price. I like to pay. If I'm going to pay a premium, I want to make sure I get as much as I would get if I didn't pay the premium. That's
Hold on a second. One more thing. What do you think about Precons in Pro or Premium Edition? They did it with the Surge Foil Warhammer decks.
Yeah.
They did it with these. Do you think that this is a good exercise that they should continue?
I'm absolutely fine with it. I have no
you like
issue
the
with
foils.
It. Yeah, I like foils personally, and I think this is one of those ones where you can just go out and buy the deck. You don't need. It's not like the only ones available are the premium ones, right? And the premium ones are available in much smaller quantities. You can get them if you want them, but if you don't want them, you just don't buy them.
That's a good idea.
Right? Like if you don't want them, don't buy them. And if you do want the Eldrazi one, don't buy it either because it's $400 and that's stupid.
Could I put an addendum on if you don't want them, don't buy them?
Yes.
If you don't want them, don't buy them. Don't complain about them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh.
Right? Like it's fine.
That's my final thought of the day. I'm out of here.
Yeah, they're great. They're good. I'm happy they exist, and for people who like them, like myself, if I can get them, I got them, I have them, and that's great. And if you don't want them or can't get them, then that's fine too. You can get the regular ones or you can buy singles. It's there for you. Right? So overall, I think this product was very good. I'm glad that we got to spend 3 weeks talking about it. I'm glad that you all came on this ride with us. And remember to send your deck lists in to commandercookout@gmail.com or hit them up on the Discord. Make sure you tag me so I know that they're for me. I'll take a look at all of them, and we'll have a couple of them to talk about on the next couple of weeks of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!